Hey, thanks for joining us here on my Man United Hub. I wanted to preface the video that I'm releasing on the loss to Brighton early this morning, well, early my time. I'm in the Caribbean because we have to go back if we have to go forward. And what I mean by that is that with the changes in ownership, as far as partial ownership by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, we've seen some positive, signs that things will change. We've seen it in terms of Manchester United signing two players pretty early on in the transfer window. We see them pursuing other players. We see them getting deals done, even for young players who are still developing their games, but with a lot of potential. So those are good positive signs. But one of the things or I should say, the new owners, the partial owners, had to consider was whether or not to keep Erik Ten Hag as the coach. Now, I'll say this that last season, I looked at some of his post match press conferences and I was puzzled. I was baffled. I mean, what was he saying? You know, he didn't give any kind of explanation or insight. There was a lot of excuses due to injuries, and no doubt Manchester United had a pile up of injuries. But there were times where it was just so confusing what Ten Hag was trying to say. Just it didn't make sense, and I that's when I started to have doubts about whether he could actually get the job done at Manchester United. So fast forward the end of the season, the new ownership, partial owners having to make decisions. Probably looked around. They took a good while to make a decision, and I'm sure they were looking at options, alternatives, and who's was ultimately available. And it seems to have, in my opinion, been a case where they really didn't have the ideal coach that they wanted that was available. And more than saying they had to settle for Eric Ten Hag, I think they must have come to an understanding with him in terms of, look, we are going to do things differently. There's a new structure, there's new management, and we will be able to support you, but there's not going to be any profligate spending on supposed talent. Plus, there's not going to be premium prices paid for players who really are winding down their careers. So I think there was some sort of understanding. But that doesn't really answer the question as to whether he's good enough to take Manchester United back to the top. And when we look at the game this morning, it seems again that the old issues are rearing their heads. And for Mr. Ten Hag, who has been there 2 seasons, pretty much going into his third, I mean, what is the problem? What is the issue? You're getting talent, you're getting players. Why is it such a problem to build a balance, to build a chemistry, to build a team that can play consistently? It was just flashback this morning, flashback to last season. The inconsistency, defensive lapses, not creating anything going forward, very few chances created, very few shots on target. So it's something that I think the as the season progresses and as the results pile up, negative or positive, that the partial owners, Jim, the new staff, the management, the Ineos, they have to consider their options going forward. And I think that's going to be a critical issue as the season unfolds. But anyway, thanks for watching and tuning in, and you know, stay tuned for a little bit of analysis on the game this morning. Thanks again. Hello there, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying the content. Please do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share so we can keep bringing you some analysis and commentary on all the latest going on at Manchester United. Thanks for tuning in.